Hey everyone, Simply Logical here. I first want to start by saying welcome or welcome back to the channel. Either way, thank you for joining me for today's episode of Pangea Wildlife Park. This is a brand new park that we've started in a brand new game just last week, I believe, maybe a couple weeks ago now. But I am extremely excited about this build specifically, and I'm in love with this game. I mean, I'm currently recording this voiceover the same day that I recorded episode 1's voiceover. So I currently still have the exact same, I think 30-ish hours in game, and this game is so good. So for anybody that is wanting to try it or thinking about possibly getting it, it's definitely worth the money. It is still in early access, so that means that the devs are still currently making updates to this game, and I think sometime relatively soon we should be getting babies, and then eventually in the future we will be getting breeding as well. But anyways, enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing in the video. I do first want to point out that I don't know much about these dinosaurs. I believe these are the Dryosaurus is what I'm building for today. I don't know much about them. I really don't know much about dinosaurs in general, but I'm willing to learn. So for anybody who knows a cool fact or anything about dinosaurs, drop them down in the comments below and we can learn about them together. I also want to point out that I am sorry for any janky camera movements that come up throughout this video. I am still very new to this game, so that means I am still learning the controls and the camera movements and everything, and my laptop charger is currently dying. So whenever my charger comes unplugged and replugs back into my computer while I'm playing the game, my camera movements lag and jump very heavily. So I am very sorry for that. I'm working on getting a new charger, so hopefully that issue is resolved relatively soon. But anyways, let's get into what you can currently see me doing. So I am working on the Dryosaurus habitat. I did want to, I opted for an aviary right at the beginning, which you should have gotten a sneak peek of in last week's episode. I am in love with the foliage that I did in this habitat, seeing as this is still a very new game, like I have said multiple times already. I am still learning the foliage, the rocks, all that sort of stuff, and I'm very happy with how it all turned out. You can see all I used for the aviary exterior was the metal beams. I don't know what the pieces are actually called, and then the chain link mesh. Something that I want to point out though, which you may or may not see while I'm currently working on the roof, is that when you, with both the mesh and any soil or mulches that you place, it's like the graphics for the item itself is aligned to the world grid, if that makes any sense. So when you turn, like, because you can scale in this game, you can, when you turn a small chain link piece to fit into a little corner or anything, it doesn't overlap the chain links together. If that makes any sense, I don't know. I hope it does, but you may see it or you may not here in a little bit. But so it does that with both the soils and the chain links that I've just mentioned, and that's something that we need in Planet Zoo, because for any of you Planet Zoo players, you know how hard it is to make chain link look good when you're overlapping it. And with this game, you don't have to really worry about it looking good or connecting with each other. Just kind of, because it's all aligned to the same grid, which you might have just seen it there when I turned that one chain link piece. You might have seen how it turned it didn't turn the actual mesh itself. But anyways, here you can see I'm working on the, I guess you could say, backstage area for the Dryosaurus. I wanted a automatic sliding gate that the keepers could have a button in their area, in their secure area, so they could automatically open and or close this gate and lock in or lock out the Dryosaurus if they need to. I do add an actual building for these guys off camera. I thought I recorded it, but I guess I didn't. I think I was running out of storage space on my laptop, so I kind of had to pick and choose what I recorded. And so, but you will see it in the cinematics though, so make sure you stick around for that. Here you can see I'm currently struggling trying to find a piece that I want to use for the attachment from the door to the sliding mechanic. I think I do opt for that hook thing that I just had selected, and I just sized it down and made it look as if it was connected from the door to the beam itself. And then I believe I do use these brackets to connect the actual sliding mechanic to the aviary frame. And then once we get all of this done, I think it should be about time to work on some foliage and stuff, or maybe I work on the backstage a little bit. I can't remember. But yeah, I do want to point out I am really happy with how this turned out. I know I've said it previously, but I am so happy with how this happened. Seeing as this is my first true animal build in this game, I really tried to I wanted to push the limits of the game to see exactly what all I could do in the game, scaling wise. And because almost every single item in the game is recolorable or customizable to some degree, it gives you so many more options that we ever thought of having in Planet Zoo. And like here, you'll see I use this disc thing for wheels, and I stretch it to make it wider to act as if it's two wheels, one on either side, instead of one singular wheel and copying it over to the other side. Again, it just saves on piece count, and with my laptop, that's definitely something that's coming in handy very nicely. Because in SPAH right now, it's currently starting to lag a little bit because of all of the pieces and all of the big trees that we have in SPAH. But I'm gonna start building on my husband's computer while he's off at work, so we don't have to worry about lag too much anymore. But yeah, you can see where I'm using those hooks that I had selected earlier for the attachment process. And then here you can see I'm working on the rockwork for the habitat. I wanted this exterior rockwork just to kind of add some visual interest. I was thinking about adding like a small little waterfall right here off of the rocks and into like cascading into their little pond area, but because I wanted it to look man-made, I chose against it. And really quickly, you should see a clip here in about a minute or so where I'm struggling to pick the I'll explain it more when we get there, but I struggle to get the plaster to go under the water, if that makes any sense. And then there you can see where I've concreted in the actual backstage portion, and I've enclosed it off. But again, here in cinematics, you will actually see the backstage building that I make for them. And then just these rocks, because they're so big and they're rescalable too, it makes placing rocks so much easier in the game. You don't have to click and place one singular rock that one rock that I placed looks like it's 5 or 10 different rocks put together, and it just makes it so much easier and quicker to place rocks too. Same thing with these rock clusters, the small rock clusters that we have. It's extremely easy to make it look like a very rocky, very naturalistic habitat, because we can place that one small cluster over and over again and it will be perfectly fine. But yeah, I have so many good things about this game, that it's so versatile in all the different ways that you can use the pieces, because again, the scaling, the recoloring, and even the different rock textures within the same rock. So you place this one rock and you can see in the bottom right corner all those different textures that I can change these rocks to. So it saves on the pieces that we have in game, as well as piece count for building and stuff. And then, because it's the same thing with like all of the modular pieces, like all the wall pieces and everything, it's only one piece, but you can go in and change the different style and texture that you want for that one piece. And so you don't have 5 or 10 different styles, it's all right there together. And then here, this is what I was talking about earlier, where you see I'm trying to place this plaster under the water, but as soon as it goes under, it disappears. I don't know if that's just a bug for my game or if that's just something that is new. So if you know, please let me know down in the comments how I could fix that, how I could get around that, because I would love for that to be plastered in at the bottom and not just have rocks on it, because I want it to look man-made and I want it to look very... I don't want to say industrial, but I want it to be as if it's easily cleanable and accessible for the staff. But anyways, now you can see I'm going in with the planting and everything. And honestly, I am still so new. I don't know the names of many of these plants. I go in with several different bushes, several different fern-looking plants, some trees, all sorts of stuff, and I make this look very, I won't say jungle-like, but it's very foliated. It looks kind of tropical, but temperate tropical, if that makes any sense. But anyways, that's really all I have for y'all today, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I do want to, again, remind you that the cinematics are... I think there's about 3 minutes just of cinematics alone. You don't have to watch all of them, but the cinematic camera in this game is definitely very interesting, to say the least. I love how it like automatically turns and rotates and everything, and you'll see all of that again later on in the video. But again, if you have any interesting facts about the Dryosaurus or any sort of dino, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear about it. But anyways, that's all I have for y'all today. I hope y'all leave a like, subscribe, all of that good YouTube stuff, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye.